Hello, my name is Robin Hughes Bennett, and this is my theories presentation. Intersectionality theory. What is intersectionality theory? The intersectionality theory is a sociological construct theory that supports the idea that the many layers of a person's identity can overlap, causing unique experiences and forms of discrimination for different people. This image lists 6 main parts of a person's identity. Although there are more than these 6, these represent the main ways that someone can identify themselves, which being gender, race, nationality, and or ethnicity, sexual orientation, age, religion, and language. These are 4 key components of the intersectionality theory. 1. Overlapping identities. This represents how the different parts of a person's self can intertwine or blur together. This can cause heavy influence on a person's life experiences and perspectives. 2. Simple categorization. This depicts how common it is for someone's identities to blur together, making it easier to succumb to discriminatory views. 3. Experiences of inequality. This is common when dealing with various forms of identities, thus causing oppressive views and disadvantages. Lastly, oppressive connections. This can show how someone's identities can be connected to cause or further oppression. For example, a Black woman, a part of the LGBTQ community, can be oppressed for being just Black, but could experience more oppression if connecting her gender, sexual orientation, and race. Professional connection. The intersectionality theory can be used in counseling by providing counselors with the ability to analyze differences in client experiences based on their identity. Evaluating these experiences can allow counselors to develop deeper client connections and understandings, while also tailoring their backgrounds and treatments for more efficient plans. Environmental scenario. Since I currently work in a prison, I decided to use a prison for my environment scenario. In regards to this and the intersectionality theory, this can be beneficial to know, especially in a scenario like this. For example, a homosexual Black male in prison would be more likely to have different experiences regarding discrimination, oppression, and violence compared to an incarcerated heterosexual white male. This being due to his race, his sexual orientation. With that being said, within prison systems, someone who is a part of the LGBTQ community is in fact more of a target for sexual assault, harassment, any forms of blackmailing, or being taken advantage of. Symbolic interactionism theory. What is symbolic interactionism theory? Symbolic interactionism theory focuses on how individuals interpret and perceive symbolic interactions, like symbols and or hand gestures. There are 5 key concepts of this theory, them being society, symbols, established or universal meanings, developed ideals or views, and communication. This slide shows 4 universal hand gestures and symbols that primarily mean the same thing across various backgrounds and cultures. One being the pointing hand gesture sign, the money symbol, a thumbs up hand gesture, and a block or a no symbol. Professional connection. The symbolic interactionism theory can be very beneficial within a therapy setting. As shown in the previous slide, although the pointing hand gesture is universally known, that does not take away any cultural perceptions it may have. For example, pointing is considered rude in numerous countries like China, Japan, and many countries in Africa. This theory can help counselors be more culturally aware to what signs and symbols are offensive, thus creating a more welcoming environment for their clients. Environmental scenario. Again, I am using a prison for my environment. And for the symbolic interactionism theory, this could be very beneficial to know and to understand, especially in a prison scenario. Although some hand gestures and symbols may not be offensive, there are also symbols and hand gestures that can be very offensive for different groups and people. Specifically so, in prison scenarios, there are gang members and are people with a lot of tattoos that a lot of people may not understand the meanings of. With that, someone in a prison could have a tattoo with a symbol that may be offensive to someone within a gang, or it could be a color of something that is offensive to someone in a gang. This could cause violence and further actions that could be taken place to harm that person with those symbols or specific colors. That being said, both of these theories are very beneficial to know, especially in a counseling setting and within settings around the world.